guest today is the person behind one of India's leading food and recipe platforms. Her recipe videos will motivate anyone to sprint their way into the kitchen. Her journey is truly inspiring. From setting up a small catering business to conducting cooking classes at home, from setting up a parenting and food blog to creating a phenomenal recipe website called Archana's Kitchen, and finally to becoming an internet sensation. Presenting Bangalore's key influencer Archana Doshi. Hi Archana.
Hi Preethi, thank you.
Welcome to the Talk with Preethi Shenoy.
And that was such an awesome introduction. Thank you so much.
It's nothing but the truth. So Archana, starting off, was there a particular event or time in your life when you recognized that food blogging would one day be your life and your living?
Well, it didn't happen automatically. I was always a food and fitness enthusiast. I grew up almost pretty much my free time spending a lot of it in the kitchen when I was growing up, because it was actually compulsory when I was growing up, that my mom told me I need to learn to chop vegetables, learn to do the dishes, and before I actually enter the kitchen to start cooking. And before I knew it, and I stepped out on my own and started living on my own, I knew that cooking was something that I needed to do, because all those preps that my mom did, it automatically came into me. But never did I realize in my engineering career that I was a software engineer, that I would actually set up a platform like this where I would inspire people to cook. No.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
So since you mentioned your background as a software engineer, Archana,
Yeah.
you started Archana's Kitchen in a digital space,
Yes,
right? And by that I mean the internet.
Yes.
So did your background as a software engineer help you set things up quickly?
Absolutely. When people told me to actually write a book, because I was a really good cook and I used to host parties.
Wow.
And during the parties, people wanted to learn all the dishes that I made. And I lost my job that time, and then I had nothing to do. And that was when they said, why don't you write a book? It'll be useful for us and it'll be great. And I think I said, no, why a book? We are in the digital age.
Right.
And I'm a software engineer, and I know how to sort of bring a website up, and I know what I have to do. And started sort of ground up from there. So definitely, I think till date, my skills as a software engineer do help. The entire tech behind the website is just run by me and my husband.
Wow.
My husband has a second job.
Okay.
Primary job is something else.
Right.
But his evening job is also Archana's Kitchen.
So you've kept everyone busy.
Everyone busy, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So Archana, how much pressure is there on you to
Yeah.
constantly keep innovating recipes so that viewers keep coming back for more?
So actually, it's I think the pressure is very minimal. When I started off, I had a single vision of inspiring people to cook, and this essentially meant writing the recipe well and forming a specific format of how a recipe should be written, so it's not intimidating for the user.
Right.
So once I sort of achieved that, the next step was to build the database, right? So I started doing that on my own, and then over a period of time, I realized that as an individual myself, it's not possible for me to cover cuisines across various regions, various diets and everything else, and that's when I started collaborating.
Okay.
And I started collaborating with a lot of home chefs and bloggers across India.
Okay.
And we started, getting the recipes together. But currently, right now, I think we do a lot of it in our own kitchen. We have a test kitchen space. We have food experts in our test kitchen.
Okay.
And the way India is so vast, as I was just telling you a little while ago, that every region, say for Karnataka, for example, right, so has many subset cuisines under it, even Tamil Nadu, even Rajasthan for that matter. It's just not Rajasthani cuisine. There's a subset of every region, and there is so much we can do. So it's actually, it's not difficult. But what is difficult is actually getting the authentic source and finding the right recipe to get an authentic recipe.
Right.
And once we have an authentic recipe, what we do is we dissect it and then try to make modifications, make it healthier. So we try to innovate to make a dish healthier.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
So Archana, the space that you're in, right, which is recipes and food,
Yeah.
it's a very competitive space today,
Yes,
right?
yes.
If you go online and you type a search word for any recipe that you're looking for,
Yeah.
you have over 50, 60 recipes that you're bombarded with.
Yeah, yeah.
So it is a competitive space in that sense.
Absolutely.
But yet you've managed to stand out, you've managed to differentiate yourself consistently.
Yeah.
How have you done that?
I think the first thing is when I started growing Archana's Kitchen, it was just not about thinking about myself, because at the end of it, I wanted the kitchens across the homes across India and around the world to get inspired and start cooking.
Okay.
My aim is to enable people to cook fresh and eat healthy, and by way of the recipes that I provide. And if I had to do that, I needed to sort of, apart from just recipes, I needed to see how I can keep adding layers of value to their everyday lives. Okay. Right. So now, what are the various different factors that people need when they're running a home? It could be, if I start from people who are single, they need something really quick. So then we think of that segment, and we work on creating recipes for them. Then we think of segments where they are people who are running a family, who have children. What are the different pain points that they have? Right. So then they need to plan their weekly meals, they need to shop their groceries if both people are working, and they need to plan their kids' lunch boxes, what is going to go into the lunch box, what are they going to eat for breakfast, lunch and dinner. Joint families is a different segment altogether. So then we introduce weekly meal plans, we included lunchbox ideas. We have a lot of verticals that we work on, and to see how we can add value, not just in the form of recipes, right? Because that's plenty, and that's how we sort of build our brand.
You are also associated with a lot of top brands, like KitchenAid, Del Monte, NutriFoods, Philips, Saffola. That's just to name a few. How have you managed to do this?
Over the years of building the platform, that we've built trust with our users, and the users trust us when we work, as in when we create our recipes, and then brands have sort of recognized that Archana is a good influence. I have a good influence on my users, and they listen to what I have to say, and by way of videos. So I think videos have helped a lot. Right. Once the video format of presentation came, I think that I grew a lot more and got more recognition with a lot of brands who wanted to sort of work with me, so that they can reach out to my users, so we can share their products with them and how they can be used. Yeah.
So Archana, do you wake up every morning thinking about food?
I don't. It just runs in my blood. I just open the fridge. I open things and start making. So it's with the flow.
Wow. Oh my God. So obviously your family is very lucky, right? Because
I hope they are.
because they have Archana in the house.
Well, there is a lot of pressure. Every meal is different at home, and if I do have, like, now what I have consciously started doing is sort of repeating meals, as in terms of, there is a leftover, guys, we're going to eat this leftover for lunch tomorrow, and this is okay. So I want them to learn that there is a leftover and we can eat that. So my pressure is slightly reduced, but at the same time, they don't want to go out to eat in restaurants.
Wow. So is the concept of ordering in or eating out almost non-existent in your household?
No, we do order in, but the once a week restaurant trips that we make, just orders in, I guess, because of Bangalore traffic. Right. It's just so crazy to step out, but otherwise we just order in. We like ordering in and watching some Star Trek together with the family, and just enjoy our weekend dinner. So in fact, just yesterday as well, I ordered in.
Nice. So Archana, before you shoot a video, do you try out a recipe multiple times?
Actually, there are times I've actually gone into shoots without trying out the recipe even once, like even the complex recipes. Like I made chiroti, and I've never made chiroti before. I've made like versions of something else. Like it's like a namak para, shakar para, which they call in the north, but made differently. So I just went into the shoot, and along the way, I know because it's going to be an edited video, along the way I made it and it came out so well. So I've done that many times because it's, I think I understand the ratio proportions. So when I look at the recipe, I know whether the ratio and proportions are right. If it's not, I fix it. So the way I work is, before I go into a shoot, I have like everything ready, the exact measurements of what is going to go into my dish. I know by reading it, because I think of constant cooking. So when I started off writing recipes, as I told you, it was very scientific and process oriented. I ensured that I use measuring cups, spoons constantly for almost a year and a half, 2 years, to ensure that every other recipe across regions and cuisines, and it's actually going to work. So then over a period of time, I don't have to use those measuring tools. It's just that if it's X proportion of rice, X proportion of coconut, you know, it all comes together that this will actually look okay. So I do try out all the recipes from our website. As I said, it's a very community driven platform, and there are a lot of home chefs, and we have food experts. So those recipes which are on the website get shot into a video even if I've not tried them. I'm very confident about myself in doing that.
And how do you plan your posts? Do you shoot every day, or do you shoot a few videos at once and then you start posting them on your platforms?
So our calendars are very planned, as in our videos and everything is very planned. We exactly know what's going to get published tomorrow, day after. So there's a lot of planning that goes in.
So how has life changed for you with Archana's Kitchen?
Life has in fact become fun. I'm enjoying it. I feel very proud that I'm very independent. Just not just with just the work that I have to do, but in terms of financially, I know I'm able to. If I have to stand on my own, I would be able to at any point in time, and that's very important to me. I feel very proud that I've grown and built this entire space brick by brick. And what comes in goes in to build it, and I'm very happy.
Fantastic, Archana, really. So Archana, what words of advice would you give to someone who's aspiring to reach the level that you have?
I think one of the most important things is passion. A lot of people ask me this, and there's nothing, you have to really believe in what you're doing. You have to believe that if you are doing something, it's making a difference to someone else. If you want to do something, at the end of it, it's just not for you. It has to be for an end user, and the end user has to benefit from it.
So Archana, we have one last segment called Fast 5, where all our viewers are going to get to know 5 fun things about you.
Awesome.
Okay?
Oh no.
So are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Your favorite street food?
Dabeli.
Okay. Indian sweets or English desserts?
Both.
So, the most expensive ingredient that you've ever cooked with?
A lot of it. From cream cheese when it wasn't available in India. Expensive wines that I've cooked with to make risottos. Desert wines. Grand Marnier.
Okay, so Archana, your favorite kitchen gadget?
My favorite kitchen gadget is my Ammi color, and I also love my mixer grinder.
And Archana, the last one, your comfort food.
So I love pani puri. I love curd rice with mor mulaga, and I love katrika sadam, which is made the South Indian style.
Yum.
3 of my real comfort foods.
Awesome, awesome. Archana, we had such a lovely time chatting with you, and all the very best.
Thank you so much
for making Archana's Kitchen bigger than what it already is.
Thank you for making us more big with this video. I'm really happy to be on this.
Thank you, Archana.